For RetroSake here. Today we are going to play some elevator action. Are you spy enough? To get through all 30 levels of the building? Grab all of the red doors as Agent 17, or as someone that might know him personally would call him, Otto. Gotta make it through all 30 floors. Gotta hit all of the red doors. Grab the secret documents out of the red doors. And get to the basement before all of the enemies start unleashing their weapons on you. And I'm telling you, even the very first level, this game can be hard. Because it's the same exact idea throughout the entirety of the game. You are to get through, get the secret documents, get to the basement, don't get shot, and everybody wants to kill you. If you take too long, an alarm will sound, which causes the enemies to get even more agitated, which in turn means they just shoot more frequently and come at you a little faster. So don't dilly-dally around, Agent 17. There are classified documents that need to get to whomever is requesting them. So make haste your time and get through all these floors. This is one of those games that I played as a kid. We owned this game. This is a cheap game. This is a game that you can pick up today for probably around $7 to $10 on average. It's going to cost you way more than that just to get the NES to play it on. But have no fear. This game came out on Game Boy, on PlayStation, on the Amiga. I mean, there are a lot of systems that this game is out and available on. Believe it or not, this game originally came out in 1983. Oh man, I'm just barely missing that. This game originally came out in 1983, but for all of you out there that know better, the Nintendo NES didn't even come out until October 18th, 1985. So, you probably didn't get this game in 1983, considering the simple fact that it didn't come out on the Nintendo until 1987. So I really messed up here. I've got to sit at this floor, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, waiting for this elevator to come down for me to make my quick getaway. We made it. Good job, Otto, in your vehicle named Shop. I believe that's what that says on the side there. I'm not too positive. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I upload NES, SNES, but right now, been doing a lot more of just the NES retro games. I love to play the newer games, and I am going to play I believe it's called Curse of the Moon 2. I bought that recently for my Nintendo Switch, and I've been wanting to play it, so I think I'm going to go ahead and stream that game. So if you see a stream notification for RetroSake, and it's for Nintendo Switch, don't be too surprised. I do play Nintendo Switch quite often. One of my favorite games on a Nintendo Switch is Mario Kart 8. I said in my last stream that I just recently got a Wii U, so I would be very interested in seeing the Wii U difference for the Nintendo Switch for Mario Kart 8. I'm sure there's not that many differences. One of the major ones are going to be the new updated levels that have been put for the online store in Nintendo, which I've played all of those and had a blast doing that. Oh, I forgot that I can jump. You gotta jump, Otto. I'm gonna blame Otto for that one. Ooh. Like I said, the game doesn't really mess around with the agents. They come out everywhere. I'm calling them agents. I'm an agent. I don't know who they are, but they obviously don't want me taking their secret documents. Nowhere did I find that it states exactly what the agents are, like what their names are or anything, who they're working with. I'm going to say the Umbrella Corporation, or maybe Hydra. That seems to be the frequent thing for a lot of these games, is Hydra. Superhero comic books and such. So we'll just call them Hydra. They look like Hydra. When I was a kid playing this, my dad, man, he could play this game. He obviously played it on the arcade, and that's how it came out first in '83, was an arcade. And from what I understand in most of the information about the game, it did really, really well on arcade. So it was very well received. A lot of people enjoyed playing it on the arcade. So, of course, porting it over made a lot of sense. I mean, why not? It did so well as an arcade game. Oh, that dude was tricky as can be, man. He was waiting. Like, he was on me. I'm not 100% positive of how many lives you get for this game. So what we're going to do is we're going to play it until I'm dead. Just keep hoping for the best here. Come on, elevator. Come on down for me. You're the next contestant on Get Agent 17 Out of Here Alive. Okay. Oh! I stole the documents from that agent. He was in there waiting on me. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I've had a great day. I've streamed a couple of games today already. I'm no king of retro or anything, but I play quite a bit of retro games. I don't have save states and stuff, so I can't call myself the king of retro. The king of retro would have to have somewhere to save his game, so he wasn't just having to stop and go back through a level all the time and everything. And I understand that. A king has certain amenities that us peasants wouldn't normally have. And it makes sense. I mean, if you really think about it, a king should have certain things that us normal peasants don't have. So, thankfully, we have what we have, and we're thankful for what we got. Hey, I shot that guy! It dropped my input. What's the deal with that? I'm gonna play it again some more anyways. I'm having fun with it. I don't know if anybody's there watching. Forgotten Locale, he's here watching me. A king has the burden of 2 very big bills. That's true. You gotta pay for that horse food and lots of kitty litter. Those are pretty big bills, I understand. I appreciate you stopping by, Forgotten Locale. We're playing Elevator Action. I was telling everybody before, if you weren't here from the start, that this is a game that actually is available on other platforms. I don't own it on anything else. I only own it on the NES, but from what that guy, he's being shady down there. Like, he's just waiting for me there. Yeah, that was shady. Stayed up. One that I know for sure that it's on is PlayStation, And the only reason I know that is because a friend of mine was playing it one day on the PlayStation, and I was like, I thought I was the only fool that ever played this game. Like, you ever... Yeah, that guy right there. You ever played a game, Forgotten Locale, that you think, I'm the only person playing this game? Like, nobody else is playing this game. Everybody's either moved on, nobody's playing it, nobody cares about it. Because for me, elevator action would be one of those. Like, I don't play it often or anything, so I'm not amazing at it. But it's one of those games that I enjoy, and I will play from time to time. Can't say that I've played it a bunch, but enough. I always thought that about Contra until the internet evolved. Like, I just thought it was kind of like one of my family's games or whatever, like that we played. I didn't really think that it was so popular that everybody, I won't say loved it, but everybody played it or was at least aware of it. Because I didn't own Contra at my house. I only ever got to play Contra at my grandma and grandpa's house. My grandma and grandpa, well, I guess I should say it correctly. My grandma is awesome. Like, my grandma used to play... Oh, get out of my face! My grandma used to play Super Mario Brothers with me. She would play... I don't know how often she played Contra with me, but dude, she loved beating me in Tetris and in Dr. Mario. Dude, when Dr. Mario came out, first of all, I'm colorblind. And Dr. Mario has a lot to do with colors. And it's not like anybody else really knew that I was colorblind. So I knew I was getting capped there in the head. So what was I going to do? Dr. Mario was one of those games that I really enjoy. Like, and I still play it. Especially now that I can actually see what I'm playing. But my grandma would just rock me in that game. I mean, the whole viruses, get out of my face. Yeah, made it to the bottom. Finally. But my grandma would beat me in that game. Man, she laughed at me. I beat you. You let an old lady beat you. I don't know if she'd ever call herself an old lady. But she definitely at least made it sound like I got beat by an old person. What's wrong with me? I love my grandma, man. She was not like, oh, you should try to win or something like everybody is nowadays. Like, he made sure that you felt kind of silly about losing, which was fair enough, man. It made me try a little harder next time. Yeah, go ahead, do your shoot. Now, I'm not 100% positive that you can wait to come out the door every time, or that you really have that opportunity to wait. But I can tell you that the go up the escalator, go down the escalator ordeal is very, very touchy. Like, to enter the door over here, I have to push up, and I gotta be facing the door like that. I can't just like... So I'm gonna wait for him to shoot and push to the left. But you can't just like go up to the door and push up. Like, you've got to be facing the door the correct way. And if you can get lucky enough to smash one of those agents with the elevator, it feels awesome. Maybe that's just me, but it's definitely one of those great feelings. I was saying earlier, my dad would play this game. And my dad obviously got a lot of his skills from his mother, my grandma. And my dad would play this game and get so far in this game. And then I would play this game, and I keep getting capped in the back of the head by these guys, left and right. And man, it is so annoying whenever these guys come out of nowhere and kill you after you've been playing so long in it. Been doing so well. Oh, yeah, now you're gonna be like that. Oof. See, they're quick sometimes. So you gotta turn yourself. Oh, what? Dying from a knee shot. Ain't nothing called for that. Wouldn't die from a shot in the knee. I mean, not right away. Still be able to run away a little bit, right? Come on, Agent 17. It's time to get it together. Yeah, look at this guy ducking. So for it to be a platforming style game, obviously platform being the building itself, having to go through 30 levels of the building every single time, different elevators, different escalators on each level. And I'm sure this guy's going to come right down at me. Yeah, just enough to make me want to go under the elevator for a second and get rocked. Now, when you're on the elevator, you can't duck. So that's why sometimes like I'm leaving the elevator and going off to the side, because I'm kind of a sitting duck here for these guys that come up and then all of a sudden draw their gun at the see, like that. Like he can duck. The computer can duck on the elevator. I can't. So, I mean, I'm not crying about it. I'm just stating facts. Like, it would be nice if I could duck just the same as they do. But this is the last place that I want to be, is in the middle. Ugh. Hurry up. Get down there. Get over here. And you have to get all of the red doors to get the top secret information, or it will send you back to the top of the closest floor that you're missing the information from, if you were to just try to, like, you know, skate to the bottom without all the information. Reminds me of whenever I was playing Mario 64 and I thought that I would scam the turtle that was racing me to the top of the hill, and I tried to use the cannon to just go to the top, and then he calls me out and tells me that I'm a cheater. I think that guy just committed little agent suicide. Like, he just... What? I didn't even see a bullet. Did you see a bullet? It sucks. So, this is one of those games where whenever you die, it's game over. And from what I understand, you're literally starting the game over. I mean, from what I remember. I'm going to see where I'm at, but I'm pretty sure this is the first level. I don't know how you gain extra lives. I don't think that that's a possibility in the game either. It's be better. Good luck, Buttercup. I found that while you're shooting out the lights, it's a really cool special effect, but the agents that are after you still shoot. Like, they don't care. They still shoot at you. I don't really feel like there's any difficulty setting difference from one set of agents in, say, level 1 than there is to the agents in level 2. Right now, it's not letting me cross. Usually you can walk across the elevators on the top of them. You just take that risk of getting smashed. But there, it just wouldn't let me do it. Get on up there. And there's a partition wall sometimes, so you gotta go out and around. But yeah, this is definitely a game that, for what I remember gaming to be whenever I was a child, was to literally take up enough time that you felt like either you were going to play it again and become a master of it, or it was just going to be something completely casual that you just tried and then gave up on. That's why I really enjoyed the video game stores whenever I was a kid, because that's probably where I got to play this the very first time, was because we rented it from a video game store and then later on purchased it. I don't know how often they drop the prices of NES games and stuff in the stores like they do nowadays. I mean, I'm not really sure how all that worked, because I didn't buy a lot of games as a kid. One of the only games that I remember specifically buying was Super Mario Bros. 3, and that was because for my 8th birthday, I wanted Super Mario Bros. 3, and no one had got it for me. So I took my birthday money and went and bought Super Mario Bros. 3. And I was really, really glad that I did too, because I'd only known one other friend that had the game at the time. So his version of what the game was like gave me pretty high expectations. And I can say that all of those expectations were fulfilled when I got that game, because it was definitely a game that today I still find myself lost in, just enjoying the game itself. Probably didn't beat Super Mario Bros. 3 until I was like 12, I'll say. Around 12. Maybe I was a little older too. Because, like I said before, we didn't just sit around inside the house playing video games all the time. We were sent outside a lot, which we should be. Like, enjoy outside while you can. Like, these games are here. They're fun. But they're best served on days that there ain't much going on. And, man, at the end of the night for me right now, I got the kids all to bed and everything. I'm all to myself. I'll be like, I wonder what game I really want to play that I haven't spent any time in or played a lot of. And that Astyanax, I am so glad that I got that game out and played it. While I was playing it live stream, it was getting frustrating, like not being able to beat a certain level in it. But I also told myself after I was done playing that that really came down to the fact that people were watching. And like, I feel bad making people watch me suffer through and through a level over and over again. Like, that was really my only beef with the game. Like, beyond that, that game was fun. And when I first put it in, I spent 10 minutes dying over and over and over again, because swinging that axe just was a different motion than to most of the games that I'm used to playing. Like, this is just shoot and shoot across. Like, there's not a whole lot to, you know, figure out with that besides the timing of the elevators and stuff. Wow, I just about got myself decapitated there. But just figuring out the timing of the elevators and running back and forth from room to room. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot. That guy tried to get me. Like, he was close. I wish I could get on top of the elevators, man. I always remember being on top of the elevators. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what I was supposed to do there. I was going to jump, and I was going to die either way. But that Astyanax, I was really glad that I played that. And today, I threw in Crystalis and played that for a little while. And it made me think that I have put that in and thought, I need a lot more time to be able to play this. Because one of the things that I mentioned in the last stream was that I bought a lot of these games for two reasons. One of the major reasons why I bought these Nintendo games, these NES games, it wasn't, oh yeah, jumping over top of the bullets. I'm matrixing it. One of my main reasons for buying the NES games was when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of these games, and we didn't just have, like, you know, the money to go buy these games. I lived a great childhood. Like, I had good parents, and we had plenty. We always had food. That was never a concern, but I didn't have a lot of the games, and I would be hanging out with other buddies and friends and stuff, and they would have, not so much as have, like, more games than me. They would just have games that, say, I didn't have. And it kind of always put this thought in my head that it was because we didn't have as much money or something, and that they had these cooler games than me. I don't know why I got off the elevator there. That was just a bad move, but whatever. No, I had to get off of me. But anyways, I always kind of thought that I was missing out on so many of these games that these other kids had, and I really wanted to try this game that a friend had, and like the Mega Man series. I never had the Mega Man series at my house. I had a friend that I would go to. I would ride my bike 2 miles over to his house. That's not probably even full 2 miles. It might have been more like a mile. As a kid, it always feels like forever. But I would ride up the road quite a ways to his house. He lived on a farm, and we would get to play the games after certain chores and stuff were done. Even though he lived on a farm, his dad was actually a canine instructor. So the farm was used to train police dogs. So it was really cool getting to see a lot of that happen. That most kids don't even know what that looks like or is like or anything. I don't know how I missed that. I felt like I ducked there on my own for a second there. But so I had to recognize as I got older that there were a lot of things that I got to see and do that not all the kids got to do. Like getting to see live canines trained out in front of your own face. That's pretty cool. And I was glad that I got to see that. While being there, I got to play a lot of Mega Man. And I would spend hours watching my buddy play Mega Man, all for me to go rent it at the video store and then get through Mega Man in no time, and I had never even really got to play it. Like, it wasn't even a game that I got to play a lot of. So, as I got older, I kept thinking about those games that I really wanted to play or that I would have liked to have been able to spend more time on. And my little brother, who's like 6 years younger than me, was going to college, and I had given him a Atari with a whole bunch of games. I mean, probably like 50 games with it, maybe 60 games, something like that. And he enjoyed it, but at the same time, the game systems that were out around then would have been like probably the Wii. I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I got killed. But I think the Wii was out around then. So for me to have given him an Atari was kind of way outdated. But at the same time, he really loved it. And he started collecting some of the NES games because he enjoyed playing NES with me whenever we were younger. And when he started collecting them, I started thinking, well, I still have NES games. I should probably start getting some of those other games that I really wanted. And me and him can play those games and enjoy them together. That'll be a great time. And there for the longest time, it was something really fun that we would do because he lived like 3 hours away. So when I was able to go up and see him at school, I would take up whatever games I found. He had this really cool aftermarket. I don't really know what to call it. It was a record shop is what it was. But we would go to this record shop and they had Nintendo games there that they resold. So I started picking them up there. And then the more I was getting the games, the more I started realizing that I didn't have the time that I really needed to be able to play these games because my job was working 12-hour shifts, going in at 4 in the morning. I mean, literally getting up at 3 in the morning to go to work. One of the guys that I worked with always had this saying about going in dark, leaving dark. And it was true because in the wintertime, especially the wintertime, we would go in and it would be dark out. And then whenever we got out of work, it would be dark already by the time we got out of work at 4 o'clock. So I no longer work that particular job. And having the time that I do at home now, when I have the time, I try to throw in the NES games and play them. Like, I try to enjoy what I bought, because over the course of buying the games, what I would do is every Black Friday, when we were out looking for gifts and stuff for the kiddos, I would put aside a certain amount of money that I had earned from my crazy hours and everything, and I would go buy NES games. Oh, took it to the chest. I would go buy NES games at that record store. I didn't buy a lot off of eBay and stuff like that. I did not want to buy from eBay. It felt a lot better for me to be able to have my hands on it. Get down. Rather than to buy something over the internet, hope that it was legit, have to deal with that sending it back if it wasn't. Like, none of that seemed appealing to me. I have purchased quite a bit of games off of eBay in the last couple of years, but the games that I've been purchasing the last couple of years have been to, like, seal off the collection, if you will, because right now I'm right around 600 NES games, and the games that I'm missing... Get back on that elevator, brah. The games that I'm missing are expensive as can be. I mean, just ridiculously expensive. And man, I am not rich by no means. And even if I was, to spend the money on some of these games for what they want and for the game value that they are, I have a hard time with that. I'm collecting so my kids, when I die, have something to remember me by, and something that they can choose to do what they want with. Like, if my kiddos decide collectively that they don't want to keep any of these games, and that they only want to sell them and get the money out of it, so be it. It's theirs to do what they want with it. But if they also decide that they want to play these games and keep them, then I hope they enjoy them. I hope they enjoy them like I have. And I was really, really hoping... Ooh, I really wanted to smash that guy with the elevator. I'm really hoping that one of them enjoys it enough that it's something that they want to at least play some, if prior to getting rid of. If they get rid of them all and never play a single one of them, I also understand that. Like, I don't really care. It's not a must for me. I'm trying to look at the chat, and I'm trying not to get shot. I kind of understand now why some people are like, I can't look at the chat because I'm gonna get shot last second. But then at the same time, I'm here to chat with everybody. I'm not here thinking that I'm going to get some award for beating this game, or that I'm going to get some kind of new... Wow. I mean, I'm getting, like, everybody coming at me. It's not like I'm going to get something that I ain't never seen, especially in this particular level. So, well, it is the thought that counts, and he clearly enjoyed the games. Yeah, I mean, for sure. And he still owns them today. That's one of those things where I feel like a gift is always appreciated by someone that it's given to in the moment. It seems like that's always the case. But for someone to appreciate a gift so much that they keep it, or that they reuse it on the regular, that tends to mean something even more to me. So, knowing that still to this day, he collects games when he can, he still plays the games when he can, he watches my streams when he can. I mean, we're in total different time zones now, so the idea that I would ever think that he just always catches my streams is just impossible. Like, that's not going to happen. But when he can. I'm sure he does. Like, because he likes to see what game I'm going to throw in there and play, because he may not have the game either. I mean, there's probably a couple of games that he wishes that he did own that I picked up over the course of time. And then there's going to be games that he's going to have that I'm going to wish that I was able to get a hold of. I know that whenever I was first looking for the games, one of the games that I was the most excited to get, I mean, like, I was so pumped to get it, was a game called Contra Force. And we'll just say that 99% of the reason why I was so interested in getting Contra Force was because of Contra and because of Super C. Anyone that has ever played Contra Force will tell you this: it's not the same game. It's not even remotely the same game. Like, not only is it not the same game, but it barely even feels like Contra. Like, oh, that guy was so wicked smart. He ducked as soon as he got off there. Like, he was ready to shoot me in the kneecaps, take me out. Sorry, Otto. Maybe next time. Yeah, see, I can get on that. Not a time that I want to. For some reason, the one elevator, when I tried to get on it, it wouldn't let me. But anyways, so I bought Contra Force and was so excited to get it. And I think I paid $60 for it when I got it. And I know it's one of the more rare NES games as far as Contras go. But if you're asking me personally, it's worth about $20 at best. Because if you're looking for Contra or Super C, just got rocked. It's just not the same game. Like, not the same gameplay. I'm gonna do this one more time, see how far I can get, try to get a little further in this. I think I've only got to level 3 so far. And I have no idea if this is like a Donkey Kong type thing, like where the game starts crashing if you get so far. I don't know. I've never got that far. But I had said at the beginning of talking about this that there was 2 main reasons. And one of them was because my little brother was getting into the gaming and stuff, and he really enjoyed playing the games. And I don't know if I made it clear that really the second reason was I wanted to be able to play those games, because as a kid, I wanted to have those games and didn't have a lot that I thought, all the way to realize, like, as I got older, that I had a lot of games, man. Like, I had a lot of games. Forgotten Locale, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow. But I really did appreciate having any of the games that I had, because now to be older and to realize that these games were $50 and $60 even back then, like, it makes me wonder, like, how much my parents had to work and put up with and everything, sacrifice, I should say, to buy the Nintendo in the first place, knowing very well that if you were to buy a Nintendo today, back then it was $199. That's every bit of $499 in today's money. And that's crazy. Like, that my parents took $500 of their money for me and my brothers to be able to play a Nintendo game. Like, now, like I said before, they're gamers themselves, so they were getting to enjoy the games at some point, but not nearly as much as we were. But now that I have the time and the availability, I really want to be able to play all of the games that I have. Leave a little documented recording for my kiddos to be able to see what I had, that I played them, what I thought about them, a little background on them, and probably more important than anything is for them to understand what the games meant to me as a kid, because today, with everything just being so readily available, it loses a lot of its gusto whenever you can just get it. I mean, with something like Amazon Prime, man, Kmart wasn't even around whenever I was a kid. Like, it wasn't something that was around my area, at least. And then when Kmart did come around, before I was even a middle-aged adult, Kmart was gone. So before it was there, it was gone. I mean, I used to have a little supermarket place that we went to called Nichols, and that was where you got video games and stuff. And then we would go to Sears, and there was no like Best Buys or anything. And I'm pretty sure I remember seeing a Nintendo in a catalog at one time, because Sears used to have a catalog. And the same thing goes with JCPenney's. Used to order out of the JCPenney catalog. But out of all of it, my favorite thing to do whenever I was a kid was to be able to go to the video game stores, which were also the VHS stores, and pick up a video game, because back then it was $1 to rent a game for 7 days. And then I remember all of a sudden the price went up to like $2-3, and all to find out that it was just because the game was popular. And I never understood if the video game store actually like paid for that game, you know, like bought it off the store shelf and then brought it into their store to let you rent it. Like, I never really truly understood how that worked, because they wouldn't have multiple copies, but they definitely seemed to have a copy that you didn't see anywhere else. And the reason for that was, a lot of times, is they were chopping up the box itself. Like, they would chop up the box, put it in a plastic cubby container to keep it safe. Because, I mean, they knew something already that I didn't understand as a kid. That cardboard box wasn't going to last. Like, now, I have cardboard boxes for my NES games that have lasted and stood the test of time. But I also have had some luck with getting games that... Ooh, Double Agents down. I've had some games that I picked up that... Oh, that guy, he got me from ducking too. I've just been lucky enough to get a hold of some games in the box that hadn't been beat up or anything. I have some boxes that were beat up a lot. So, I think it just really depends on the household that you came from. Not saying that one's better than the other or anything like that, but I kind of came from a household of not tearing open boxes and things like that, like trying to be a little easier with them. But then at the same time, that doesn't mean that we didn't tear open boxes and rip open certain things. Like, we definitely did. I don't remember us ever keeping the NES box. But yet, nowadays, I don't understand how somebody wouldn't. Like, to me personally, that's something that you have to do. Like, you got to keep that box. You got to keep that box in great shape. You can't let anything like that happen to it. This is probably going to be my last round here. I'm hoping that get a little further in this. I appreciate anyone that stopped by. If anybody's still watching, I appreciate you also. Anybody that watches this once it goes on demand, I appreciate you as well. If you're catching this and you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join the elevator action with us. This is not a game that I've ever recorded before, and I've never shown it to anyone else, me playing it. But if people enjoyed it, I'll play it more often. I'll definitely try my best to get better. Oh, took it to the chest. Well, that is the end for us here at 4 Retro Sake. I appreciate you all stopping by. Catch me next time whenever I'm playing who knows what. Maybe we'll throw in Crystalis and enjoy a little bit of that action. 4 Retro Sake here. Have a great day.